Hello and welcome to Magius Plays. Today we're going to be starting a new journey into a game that is very beautiful, designed by the astronauts, known as The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. What is this game about? Well, there's no better way to describe it than the way the game itself does.
Ethan Carter, I didn't know. But he knew who I was. When the police won't help you and the priests don't believe you, you call on Paul Prospero. You call on me. If you're a kid like Ethan, you're right. Plenty do. Ethan's letters started out just like any other fan mail. But soon there were mentions of things no little boy should know about. There are places that exist that very few people can see. Ethan could have drawn a map. I hadn't entered Red Creek Valley yet, but already I could feel its darkness reaching out for me. Finding Ethan Carter wasn't going to be as easy as knocking on his door. I was too late for that. To find Ethan, I had to figure out what this place was trying to hide from me.
And that is the basic premise of this game. We're moving along, solving some mysteries that come up along the way, and trying to find what happened to Ethan Carter. But before we get into that, there is something you can do right here at the start of the game that I'm not sure most people would think about. You get out here, look around, and realize there's nothing stopping you from going right back the way you came. So, instead of getting started with the mysteries, let's try to leave. But when we try, we end up right back where we started. So there's no just leaving the game and going to something else. We have to find out what happened. And here we have the first part of the game, where there are several traps around here that we need to find. Don't have to worry about actually setting them off on top of you. None of them will actually hurt you. But each one we find gives us a little bit more of an alternate view. And as we get closer and closer, we see more of what's on the other side. With just one left to go, which I believe is over here. We are greeted with a rather grim sight. Perhaps this note will tell us a bit more. Sap, by Ethan Carter. An old man came to the forest every day to drink sap from trees. To get there, the old man had to step around many dangerous traps. The villagers believed this old man had hidden a jade amulet in the forest. But the old man wanted the villagers to believe this, because then they would search the forest for treasure and not drink his sap. One cool fall night, someone set fire to the forest, and the fire spread to the village. The old man escaped the fire by covering himself in sap. When he returned to the village, he found all the villagers' bones. The old man sat down and cried. Then he found more sap to drink. This gives us a little bit of a clue to what...
Ethan, I told you, you can't be here.
But Gramp, I wrote something for you.
That's real nice. Thank you. Just leave it. I'll read it later.
That was a story written by Ethan for his grandfather, who is obviously currently depressed. And when we pick up this bit of newspaper, we find out why. It turns out his grandfather and grandmother were sleeping in their house when it caught fire and his wife died. After that happened, he took to drinking, and that is what inspired Ethan to write this story. But now that we've read the story, we see the scene is cleared. And this introduces us to the first type of puzzle in the game, the story puzzles. These are all stories written by Ethan Carter for and about the other members of his family, and when we solve them, we see their family's reaction to the stories. Next stop, we need to cross this rail bridge and let's take a moment to enjoy the absolutely stunning visuals that they put into this game.
Red Creek Valley seemed like a quiet, ordinary place. I've learned two things in my life. No place is truly quiet, and nowhere is really ordinary. Ethan warned me about that. Warned me not to be fooled by what I saw here. He didn't need to worry. I'd worked dozens of cases, hundreds. This would be my last one. Already I knew that.
If you look over at the other end of the lake there, we will be crossing that dam soon enough. But for now, we're coming up upon a rail car with blood spattered on the front. This does not look good. Another of the mechanics this game occasionally uses. Sometimes you'll come across a clue that you need to find something for. The words will float around until they converge in the direction the item is at, and when you click, you get a brief vision of the item itself and its immediate surroundings. This makes it a lot easier to find some stuff, but it doesn't happen for everything. So, we'll need to keep that in mind for here in a little bit. Let's see what happened up here. Some rope on the rails, and a pair of severed legs. This blood trail does lead us directly to the next piece of the puzzle. And this tells us we are at the second type of puzzle. We find a murder scene, and we need to figure out what happened. Now, the first thing we're going to go for is the crankshaft that we know is right down here. You see? Right by the lake. Pick that up. and go right back up. There's still quite a bit more to see up here. A fuel canister that will be useful in getting the rail car in the right place. Telling dead grass telling us right where it was. And a vision if you forgot where it is and somehow managed to miss it. Then right up here is something I missed when I first played the game. This rock is not at all obvious where it is unless you know where it is. Take that. And one last piece before we start putting everything together. Now that we've seen everything, we can start putting things back together. The rock goes back there. And we need to get the rail car where it's supposed to be. Just put the crank back on there, give it a spin to get it going. Jump inside and get it back to where it's supposed to be. We just need to watch for the spilled fuel to know when we've got it in the right place. It will be coming up. Right about now. So go ahead and turn it off. You have to be environmentally conscientious, you know? And that sound tells us we got it in the right place. Now that we have everything set up, we can come back here and enter the vision. And thus we come to the second part of the murder mystery puzzles. Each of these orbs represents a different piece of the events. So once they all land, we walk up to them. And as we walk up, we get a still image of what was going on there. Once we've seen all of them, we can start putting together the chronology of what happened. It might be tempting to just run along and tag everything as you come to them. But if you do that, you're not likely to get it right. But once you've tagged everything, press space to visualize.
Tell me where Ethan is. Now.
If you get it wrong, the vision dissolves in front of you. So now we need to put it in the correct order.
I wish there was another way.
Listen to me. We can destroy it. I know how.
You can't destroy it, Ethan. You can't destroy time. And that's what he is. He is forever.
Travis, tell me where Ethan is. Now.
I'm giving the sleeper what he wants. What all of us want. Look, old man, you need to go home. No.
Ethan, run, goddammit. Go! Get out of here! Travis, close your eyes.
So we see what happened leading up to the death of Travis. Once we've solved the mystery, the orbs will all come together, and then a single orb will lead us to the final part of the scene.
Grandpa? Stay away!
Ethan, I'm sick too. I can feel the sleeper in my head.
Then fight it! I have to destroy the room!
Corvus, I'm sorry. Ethan,
Oh no!
I can't let you do that.
And thus
Whatever
we
had
have
turned Ethan's family against him. The grandfather was trying to resist. Age helps against those things that feed on hate. Not because of wisdom or experience, because the old are tired. Their hate is less useful.
And thus we have the end of the first murder mystery in this game. But we've only just started to see hints of the overarching narrative. So, there's much more of that to come in The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. So tune in next time, and until then, Magius out.